Yeah.
So while doing this exercise, I would really invite everybody to not judge yourself. Because the minute you judge yourself, that, oh my God, how can I be like this? Then your true self is never going to come up
Mm-hmm.
because because you don't want to your inner person, a part of you doesn't want to be hated. A part of you wants to be loved, and people call it inner child. But the inner child is never going to come out to you. Is never going to be honest with you, and you will never get to know yourself.
Welcome to Coaches on the Couch, the place where experts share their journey and inspire you to take action. My name is Pratishtha Bhalla and I will be your host for this show. Today we bring to you another amazing expert, Mansi Shanghvi, who is going to share her journey from feeling of victim, from feeling that nothing is enough, from feeling that it's not her responsibility to take care of herself but others, to rediscovering herself and becoming a self love coach. So, just stay with us till the end because this is going to be real. And subscribe to the channel if you have not done yet, and so that you don't miss any updates. A very warm welcome, Mansi, to Coaches on the Couch.
Hi, Pratishtha, and hello everyone. I am so excited to be here, and thank you for that wonderful introduction.
Thanks, Mansi. I love your energy. So, Mansi, let's start with your journey. What made you go on this journey of becoming this self love coach?
So one day, I just got so tired of being resentful and complaining and being so unhappy. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't live like this. And so I called my coach in India. I was in the US, and I'm like, Deval, please help me. I cannot be living like this. And so, awareness happens in steps. So, and uh, like any growth happens it happens in a wave. It's not a straight angle. So that was one of the first times, one of the few times that I truly took action about this. And then another period when I had a realization. I was like, oh my God, even I don't like myself. How can anybody else like me? And so it was a point of inflection where I just got so tired of being the way I was. And I knew that there is so much more to life. That, like, life is so wonderful. And that's when I realized it's all in my hands. Why do I need to be dependent on somebody else to make me feel good? Why do I need to be dependent on how the other person talks to me? And then based on that, I will feel. If the person is rude to me, then I will feel bad. If the person is nice to me, then I will feel good. If the person takes me out, I will feel so good. If the person does not take me out, I'm sad. Who has the time for all of this? And why would I even put myself through that? So that's a realization I had. And I'm like, well, I am here. I have a life, and I have a choice to enjoy myself, irrespective of what anybody else is doing. I have a choice to be happy, irrespective of what anybody is doing. And it's my that of course that does not mean that I go out and become rude and I kill somebody and I steal. No, responsibly, with responsibility. But then it's just so much freeing. It's just so much joyful to just be the way you are and not be affected by what the person is doing, what XYZ is doing, what ABC is doing. Of course, we are connected to each other, and we're always going to be affected. But now, for the small things, I can choose how I want to feel. But that does not mean that I do not get angry, that I do not react. I do, but at least out of 10 times, if once I can choose to not be reactive and be proactive, that's still better than zero.
Yeah, Mansi, it's interesting that you discovered it yourself. So, what was happening? What were you complaining about? And what made you feel that I don't love myself, so why should others?
Um, so Sadhguru in his book writes about this. He like there are some people who are never happy with whatever life gives them. If they get a car, then they want a bigger car. If they have a house, they want a bigger house. If they have If they have X amount of money, they want X plus one money. And I was exactly like that. Nothing was ever enough. I have, I just wanted, I was just not happy with whatever life gave me. I, and the reason was that I realized I had a poverty mindset in which I did not think I deserved anything. So if I feel I don't deserve anything, I will never be happy with what I have. It's a little contradictory, but that is how it played out for me. So I did not know how to acknowledge being loved by somebody else. And so I would lash out. I would think, and and since I would lash out, then I would not get the affection that I wanted. And then I would feel, oh, I don't have affection. So it is very convoluted, but in my head, that is how it played out. Because I had a poverty mindset, and and then because I had a poverty mindset, I also had this thing that I don't deserve this. So if I don't deserve it, then it's other person's responsibility to give it to me because I can't take it on my own. I don't deserve to spend 1,000 rupees for a piece of outfit. So I can't spend on it. But because I can't spend on it, somebody else has to spend that money for me and give it to me. You see how it played out for me? So that's how it played out for me. But Pratishtha, I forgot your question. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, what you are saying is very interesting for me, that on one hand, what you are getting is not enough, you want more, and on the other hand, you are saying about the poverty mindset. So yeah, as you said, this is contradictory, and a lot of people are doing this. They are saying, I money, in Hindi we say money paisa hath ka mail hai, like we don't need that much money. And the other hand, we are always running for money, from we get up in 6 in the morning and we are running throughout the day. So I could relate in that way, but what made you realize that, yeah, this is a poverty mindset you're currently having?
I realized that by a lot of introspection, by reading a lot, studying about this. I've been studying about self-love since last 6 years, more than 6 years, to be honest. So, so I was very curious that what are these patterns that I have? Because our belief systems, actually, our beliefs are what lead rise to our thoughts, our emotions, and based on that, our actions. So, and unless we change our belief systems, we can try very hard to change our actions. We can try very hard to change our thoughts, but it's just a longer struggle. It's a longer road. So, so it's much easier to change your beliefs. But at least, even if you do not change them, to become aware of your belief systems, that what is it that is actually governing your thought process, governing your actions, and those are your beliefs. And those beliefs are basically what you've been repeatedly telling yourself subconsciously. So I was very curious to know that what is it that is, why am I the way I am? Why are my thought patterns the way I am? So it's so funny, Pratishtha, that so there was a period when I'm just going to be observing myself. No judgments, nothing. And I think all of us should do it. This is a very beautiful exercise to get to know yourself. So just observe yourself. If you're driving and if you have a habit of turning on music, don't turn on the music. Just just pay attention to what your thoughts are. Just stay with yourself. If you're going for a walk, just observe your thoughts. So I realized that in my head, a sentence would always start with, and they were fighting. Who is there? I have no idea. What they were fighting about? No idea. But my thought would start with, and they were fighting. It was such a beautiful, it was a realization. I'm like, wow. I, when I'm sitting idle, the thought I have in my head is they were fighting. क्यों था ये thought? So be curious about it. Be fascinated that, oh my God, this is what I think about. This is how I, this is what actually my beliefs are. So I started paying attention to myself. I read a lot, I studied a lot, and and then you can actually, connect the dots. And that's when I realized that I actually have a poverty mindset. And then you can go back and then you go back in your past and we can trace where um, where it has come up, where it actually affected your life. And 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 then, they come in layers. So if you have a poverty mindset, automatically you do not take responsibility for your own self. In my case, at least, I made other people responsible for myself because I did not deserve it. I could not give it to myself. Somebody else had to give it to me. And then again, I'm a victim. Then I have a victim mindset. And then I can't stand up for myself because I don't think I deserve it. So then I feel resentful. And because I'm feeling resentful, then I'm angry. So you see how it plays out?
It's all connected. That's what it looks like. One after
Yes,
another, there's a chain.
yes, yes. And the most important thing is to have the courage to acknowledge ki haan, that yes, I am like this. And because only once you acknowledge can you actually do something about it. Only once you
Hmm.
acknowledge that I have a fracture on my leg, can you go and get a cast and then repair your leg, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
So while doing this exercise, I would really invite everybody to not judge yourself. Because the minute you judge yourself, that, oh my God, how can I be like this? Then your true self is never going to come up
Hmm.
because because you don't want to your inner person, a part of you doesn't want to be hated. A part of you wants to be loved, and people call it inner child. So the inner child is never going to come out to you. Is never going to be honest with you, and you will never get to know yourself. So I would really invite people to do this exercise of just getting to know yourself and leave all judgments aside. Leave any notions of what you might have of right or wrong, of good or bad, of how can I think like this? How can I say this? No, just leave everything aside and just get to know yourself. I think like this. Oh, fascinating. I'm also like this. Wonderful. I never thought I could even think like this. Wow, I have a wild streak. Or oh my God, I love flowers. I never knew that. That's something like that. Get to know yourself, but leave the judgment aside. And then once you get to know yourself, and the more you get to know yourself, the more you'll be able to understand what your belief systems are that actually subconsciously rule your behavior, your thoughts, your emotions. But it starts with acknowledging the first small things. You know, if you are angry, like for example, like for me, acknowledging is a huge thing. A lot of people, like just yesterday, I got a call from somebody saying, yeah, I get very angry, but I feel very guilty. Then why do I get so angry? So what happens is when we get angry, we do not acknowledge that we are angry because in our head there's a there's a tape that goes that how can I be angry? Anger is not good. I should not be angry. I should not. I should not. I should not. Now the minute there is I should not playing, that means you're automatically wrong. So I should not be angry, but I'm angry. That means I'm wrong in being angry. So I should not be angry. So then you try and suppress your emotions. And then because you can't suppress it, then guilt comes on it. And then you hate yourself for being angry. Then you become sad. And then you become more angry. And then you become resentful. And then you're unhappy. And then you are sad that you are not happy anymore. And then you blame everybody else. And you feel like a victim. So you see how it kind of ties up. But instead of that, if you just take 2 minutes and acknowledge that, yes, I am so angry right now. And it's okay. And then
Mansi, I
observe
think,
yourself.
Mansi, I think here we are not only judging ourselves, we are with people around, and they are telling us you should not feel that way. I do anxiety coaching, and a lot of times I actually got a message on my LinkedIn, on my Facebook. You should not feel anxious. You should just chant some mantra and feel. Yeah, it works, but if you are actually feeling anxiety, or if you are actually in the moment of anger, nothing works. It doesn't work.
Exactly.
If you are telling me that my anger is stupid or my anxiety is wrong, and that is what we always hear. So the judgment is the problem with judgment is it's not only me judging myself, it's the people around me judging my emotions and telling me it should not be there. So in those moments, how do you take charge and be okay with those emotions?
So again, the people that who are telling you, they've been told by somebody else. So it's not their original thought. Somebody has told them. It could be their parents. Their parents are told by their parents. Those people were told by other people. So it's not their original thought. So they are just doing what they have been told. The same with us. What I am repeat what the way my habits were formed were not my original habits most of the time. I absorbed those habits from around people around me. Now, so first of all, the first step is to acknowledge that it is their thought, and just because they are saying that I should not be angry does not mean that I do not have the right to be angry. That's the first step. Again, I'm repeating, that does not mean that we act irresponsibly. That does not mean that we go and hit the person. That does not mean that that we go and harm somebody. No, that is not the purpose of this exercise. The purpose of this exercise is to acknowledge to yourself how you are feeling and to have the courage to not hide from your own self. So now, if I'm angry, what I do is at times in Vipassana, they tell you that when you're angry, just observe in your body where you're feeling that anger. Just acknowledge, where is this? And say, I am angry. And then I'm very angry. I'm so angry, I want to kill somebody. And then stay with that anger for a few minutes. Experience where it is in your body. Experience what it is doing in your body. And then automatically, in a few minutes, you will see it dissipating. Are you with me? Can you resonate with it?
Yeah, if once you connect with that emotion in your body, because all the emotions are in the body, I think that's beautifully said.
So
It's
let me give,
Mhm.
can I give another example if you don't mind?
Yeah, sure.
So I was coaching somebody and she's like, I'm a stupid fool. I get so involved with people, and then when we break up, I cry so much. I've been crying since 2 days. My tears don't stop, and I don't know why I'm crying. I don't want to cry, but look at me. I'm a fool. Why do I fall in love so easily? And I'm like, well, it's a beautiful thing to fall in love. And if you're crying, you're grieving over the loss. So can you give yourself permission to grieve over this loss? Can you give yourself permission to cry just for once, just for 5 minutes? Give yourself permission to cry and to grieve over what you have lost. And then she said, okay, I'll do it. And then the next day she comes and says, this was magic. I said, what? Like, I allowed myself to cry. After 10 minutes, I wanted to cry more, but there were no tears coming. And then after a while, I didn't feel like crying and I was fine. Then my sister came. We laughed so much. And I went out for a movie. It was the first night I actually slept. So you see what happened over here?
Yeah, so I what I'm hearing is, first there was a fight. She was crying, there was a lot of tears, but she didn't want it to. There was no permission. But then when you told her to have the permission, it shifted. Now there is no fight.
Yes. And and she believed that she would never stop crying, but she stopped crying in 10 minutes.
That's actually amazing. Yeah, so many times we don't give ourselves permission to feel a certain emotion, because we have been, like you said, we have been conditioned that way, that no, you should not be crying. If you're a man, it's more difficult because men are told only women should cry.
I
So
mean, hey,
that's
yeah,
beautiful.
I always say that the fact that you have emotions means you're alive. Only dead people don't have emotions. Yeah. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Mansi, a lot of people, if I ask you, do you love yourself? They say, yes, I love myself. I bought myself a cloth, like a dress of 20,000 rupees. That's how I show myself love. So many people, I think they think if they buy themselves expensive gifts, that is the only way they are showing themselves love. I don't know. That is not my way of showing love to myself. So I'm confused. Is that actually a way, or are they somewhere misled with the concept of self love versus self care, or buying themselves those clothes and everything?
So self care is a part of self love, but again, as everything has to be buying yourself things, taking care of yourself is very good. We all need to do that. You know,
Hmm.
if wearing something makes you feel good, sure, go ahead, please do it. But self love is much deeper than that. Self love is giving yourself permission to forgive yourself. Self love is telling is when you have failed. to tell yourself it's okay. I know we failed, but I still love you. Self love is not hating yourself for when your body falls sick. Self love is also giving yourself the permission to just be the way you are and know that you are enough. Yes, you want to learn more. Yes, you want to do more. But that doesn't mean that you're not wonderful right now. A caterpillar is wonderful as a caterpillar. It is also wonderful as a butterfly. But that does not mean it's not wonderful as a caterpillar. You get what I'm saying? So self love, yes, buying yourself clothes, taking self care, taking, going for a holiday, going for a vacation, eating good food is beautiful. It is a part of self love, but self love is also getting to know yourself. Self love is observing what is your inner dialogue with yourself. How do you treat your inner child? How do you take care of that 5-year-old version of yourself? Do you love that 5-year-old Pratishtha? Do you love that 15-year-old Pratishtha who probably failed in something? Do you love that 20-year-old Pratishtha who went for her first job? Do you love that Pratishtha who made wrong decisions? Can you forgive her? Can you love her?
Yeah, and I think when you're talking about inner child, a lot of can you forgive about yourself? A lot of it is also like we are dependent on others to make us feel a certain way. You even talked about it for yourself, and you wanted others to make you feel good. And as a younger, many times when we are younger, we are depending on others to make us feel love, to give us those things. So, as a grown up person, how do we heal that inner self who was dependent on others and because of that faced a lot of hurt and pain?
Would you like to do an exercise with me, Pratishtha?
Yeah,
And
sure.
everybody else listening can do it with me as well. Okay, so a very tiny little exercise. It's in our child. It was made very popular by Louise Hay. And I
Hmm.
love that author. I love her. So in case if you want, you can even go and read her books. So we can do this. And everybody else who's listening to this can are free to do this. Okay. So close your eyes.
Sure.
All right. Take a deep breath and
Hmm.
breathe out with your mouth. And relax your body. Do it one more time. Breathe in with your nose, a deep breath, and breathe out with your mouth. And when you breathe out, relax your body completely and make it as soft. Now go back. Go back to that 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 3-year-old version of you. Go to this beautiful child. Observe what this child is doing. He or she could be playing. He or she could be running around. See what they are doing. And then ask them, can I play with you? And play with them. Enjoy with them. Do what they want to do. Let that tiny version of you, that child version of you lead you. Play with them, enjoy with them with complete abandon. If they want you to go just roam circles on the field, go do circles with them. Just enjoy with them, blow bubbles with them, go on the swing with them, roll with them on the grass, whatever they want, whatever that child wants to do. And and then ask the child, "Oh, do you want to tell me something? I'm here listening to you. I'm not going to judge you. It's okay. I am your future version who's come to meet you. And I love you for this." See if that child, that version wants to tell you something. And that child may not want to tell you anything because that child has been does not is not comfortable as yet. And that's okay. Ask the child, what can you do to make him or her feel loved? What can you do to show that child that you love them? Give that child time to explore, to open up to you. Ask the child, what do they want? And if they are done telling you, spend some more time with it. Take that child out. Have more fun with it. Play with that child. Hug that child. Kiss that child. Tell that child how much you love her because she's you. And how can you not love yourself? Right now, you may not love all parts of you, but you can also love other parts of you. It's always a process. So love this tiny version of you and keep her with you. Tell her, I will come and meet you more often if you're okay with it. Ask that child's permission. And whenever you're ready, open your eyes and come.
Yeah, thanks, Mansi, for that childhood trip. I could actually go back to my childhood and like see the little me who wanted to play, go out and play. So thank you so much. I always we can just close our eyes and connect with ourselves. It's more powerful than we can think. So you have to
Yes, and
do
you can
this,
connect to
guys.
any
If you have
version of yourself.
right, you have to do this, guys. If you are not doing it, if you just heard it, rewind and just listen back to the wonderful short meditation or short visualization which Mansi just did for us. It's amazing. Thank you so much,
Yes,
Mansi.
and you can do it for any age version of yourself, you know. And once you build this muscle of loving yourself, then go to the version of all of us have made decisions that we regret. All of us hate some version of ourselves. So then once you build enough muscle of loving yourself, go to that version that you're not able to forgive. Go to the version, go to, when I say version, I mean that age. Like I made a decision when I was 23, I wasn't happy about, you know, for example. So then once I have built enough muscle of loving myself, go to a 23-year-old me and then see if you can at least be okay with her. Love her for what she is. Now that is a journey. How is your inner talk? How do you treat yourself? Are you treating yourself like a judgment master who just has a whip in their hand? Are you treating yourself with love and kindness? So that all of that is self-love. But and I forgot to ask you, but Pratishtha, how was your experience though? Did did,
Yeah.
did, did your did the little girl tell you anything? You don't have to share what she told you, but how was it connecting with her?
Yeah, it was amazing. I really was able to go back to the time where I really wanted to play out, but I was not able to go out of my house, and I wanted to just open the door and go out and play. So yeah, it was amazing. That's why I said to everyone, just do it what she's saying instead of just listening to it with open eyes. Close your eyes and then try it.
Yeah. This is just a small little exercise, and you know there's a lot more that can be done about this.
Amazing. I think we got a real taster of what can happen. So, guys, if you really enjoyed this, and you want to connect with Mansi, I'll share her contact details with you in the comment box, in the description box. Please check it out and get connected to her. I'll be sharing her links with you. And thank you so much, Mansi, for your amazing insights and this amazing exercise that you did with us, short and sweet, and getting us back to our childhood. Anything you would like to
Of course,
share
thank you so
towards the
much.
end, before we end this, can you share with us any three tips that actually supported you in this journey of self-love?
Yes, the first step is acknowledging how you feel, acknowledging how you are, acknowledging that you actually want to change, and then not hating yourself for it, and acknowledging. And it's just you're just learning. We're all learning, you know. So well, we learned something. Now we're learning something else. So not judging yourself too much, and just playing with yourself, you know. So just be your own friend. Play with yourself. Like if you see anger coming up, like, oh, I'm getting angry again. So even if you do it once out of 10 times, that is still better than zero. So don't get discouraged if you are like, oh, but I still get angry. Well, of course you do, but Is there even once that you did not get angry and you could play with yourself? That's a start. So, yes, these three things.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much, Mansi, for your time and sharing these amazing tips, these exercise, everything. I just love talking to you. And friends, this was the last episode of season 1 of Coaches on the Couch. I hope you have checked out all the other episodes. If you have not, just go back to the playlist and check it out. There are some amazing experts sharing great insights, including Mansi. And let us know in the comment box what you feel about it. Did you actually were you actually able to go back to your childhood and experience it? Just share your thoughts. If you have any questions, put it in the chat box. So friends, I
Simply
hope
put,
you enjoyed the season. Also, just let me know your thoughts on it. What is something you're looking for on Coaches on the Couch? Let us know and we'll bring it for you, of course, in the journey of life. For life coaching, I would not be putting in food videos for you. But if you have any questions related to life, how to get into more self love, how to explore your own inner child, your inner feelings, anything related to life you want me to share, just let me know in the chat box and we'll get it done for you. So friends, we'll meet you in another seasons of Coaches on the Couch. Till then, keep smiling and keep shining. It's me, Pratishtha. Bye bye.
bye.